All right, guys. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at USD CAD. And damn it, I wish I would have stayed in this pair because I need to get rid of that fib. Come on, fib. Work with me. There we go. Because I mean, this is this is like textbook. This is bullshit. But I told myself I'm only gonna, instead of getting so many damn headaches and looking at so many pairs. Thank you, Adam. Uh, just kind of take my time and monitor a couple pairs. And actually, you know, it's something that you guys should do, especially when you're just starting out. Just monitor only one or two pairs, and then know it inside and out. And you know, it does help. It really does. So, I mean, this is textbook. This is textbook. Look at the setup. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, and as you can see, there's the break right there. And like I was talking about in that last video, monitor from the high to the low. It did go ahead and go a little bit above the 50, but you can see, look at the rejections at the 78.6. 1, 2, 3, boom, drop. Dropped so good that it broke the trend line, came back, retested prior support to the pinpoint. I mean, I haven't looked at this chart or did anything with it since what, July 9th. No, I would say probably from right there, probably July 11th. So about a week and a half. I haven't even looked at this pair, but as you can see, by lining up your support and resistance zones, I mean, this is just textbook. This really is. Look, prior support broke through, comes back as resistance, and as you can see, it did go ahead and come down with the false break, closed, and then with that huge candle sitting right there, price did go ahead and shoot back up, came back, retested, which also aligned up with this ascending trend line, came up, and then came back down. Price did go ahead and pull back down, retouched the trend line, broke through, moving averages are crossing over, comes to the downside, 1 point with a lower high, and as you can see, no close. Price did gauge into that zone from 113.220 all the way down to 113.140. No break below that, which showed you confluence, which means that price is going to start heading up. Once price does, look what it does. Comes back, retouches this same trend line, pulls back down, comes back up with a 1, 2, 3. Price falls back down. And what does it do? It comes back and retests this same exact zone. Damn it, I wish I was looking at this. But it is what it is. We still can't switch on anything else. So now that that's over, let's go ahead and see what we got going on for USD CAD. So with everything being said, we can see that price is going to the upside. Now, we have a lot of strong resistance sitting from these. I mean, look at that tweezer top sitting right there. 1, 2, from June 18th all the way to June 25th. Move that to a daily time frame, and we can see the rejections. Okay, and you can also monitor this by taking it from the highs to the low, and price breached 61.8 and then came back down. That fib is no longer valid. Let's go ahead and move that away. And then as you can see, look at that big bearish engulfing candlestick right there. Price did go ahead and retouch that support zone sitting around 131, 150 all the way to 131, 200, and price reacted. Now you can see on the daily time frame, the moving averages are getting ready to cross. You can also see that this should be used as dynamic resistance sitting right there. So move that to a 4-hour time frame, and you can see that price did go ahead and come through, use that as resistance, and then falling back down. So what is price going to do next? The only thing that I can see is until we have a clear indication that price breaks this zone sitting right there, I do expect more downward movement, especially from this huge dump of price sitting right there. You've got price going from 132,500 all the way down to 131,230. Okay, and that's only in 4 hours. You can see the moving averages are starting to cross. You can also see that we've got price 1, 2, 3 penetrated, 4, 5. This is a huge support zone. So if price breaks this, it also basically lines up with weekly support sitting at 131 as well. So once price breaks and gives a clear indication that it's going to go ahead and start going to the downside, then I expect price to break this zone, come back, touch the 131 weekly support, and then possibly pull back up. Once that happens, then we can go ahead and line everything up with going to the next level of support sitting around 130,400 area. So until we have a nice indication that price is going to go ahead downside, which I do expect, but again, the Canadian USD CAD can move in two different ways. So sometimes you just really got to do some heavy analysis on that and then take it. Okay, you got to make sure that your trades on this pair is perfectly set up, just like on USD JPY as well. So until we have anything happening, as long as these highs sitting over here are not breached, line that up right there, then we can see what happens. Price is now starting to move up on a 4-hour time frame. Move that down to a 1-hour time frame. You can see, okay, price is starting to move up a little bit. The moving averages are basically going sideways. They did go ahead and cross over here earlier today, but we also have to monitor what price is doing as well over here. So if price breaks, expect price to possibly come back, use this as support, and move to the upside. But until that happens, I would just wait. I mean, there's not a lot of room for price to do anything between the areas of 131,900 all the way down to 130. You got only about 80 pips. So getting in this pair right now is not. I wouldn't do it because you're basically in the middle of this range sitting right there. Until we have price reacting going to the upside or to the downside, stay away. I do expect more downward movement on this pair, but I mean, especially from that huge dump. But I also see that price did not really come up to test these zones as well. You got to also understand that this high sitting right there, which will also basically line up with 61.8, it's never been breached. Okay, so as long as these lows, if you look at this on a 4-hour time frame, you can see that these lows are pretty much stable. Okay, we do have a higher high sitting over here and a lower low. Price is now reacting. So until price comes back up here, I wouldn't even touch it. If it starts showing signs of dropping, I'd actually go ahead and take that pair for an 80 pip drop all the way to these lows sitting right there. But until that happens, you're in mid zone. You can't do anything. I mean, you're just gambling your money if you take that pair right now. So until that happens, if you start seeing a reaction from this zone sitting at 131,800 area, then go ahead and take it. Look on a 1-hour time frame, and you can see what price did. Comes back up and also comes back down. At that point in time, that would have been a sell. You also have a little bit of influence just on a very short-term trade, and take price. But again, you're basically in the middle of the zone. That's no trade. You have no confluences on this. All you've got is this high sitting right there. It did not come into the 50, and it did not come into the 61.8 or the 78.6. Okay, until that happens, I would stay away. All right, so let's go ahead, and I don't have the other majors set up on this chart because I had to redo everything, but let's just go ahead and take a quick look at GBP odd. I know this is a very nice pair that we've been. I know Brian. I hope Brian's still in it. I think he was in a buy, but let's just go ahead and just monitor this on a 4-hour time frame and just see what price is doing. As you can see, this area sitting over here, if you block that in, basic right there, boom. All right, so price did go ahead and pull back out, and right there. That right there, my friends, is your kangaroo tail. Price penetrated, couldn't close. That would have been entry sitting right there to the downside. Okay, so you can see that just by lining up a few things, and we can kind of target and see what price is basically doing. So I'm just going to take this to right there, just average everything in. I mean, talking about price from 177,750 with a retest around 176,800. What is that? 70, almost 90 pips to the downside. I mean, what does price do when it goes in this huge consolidation? Any type of consolidation, okay, when price pulls back, it also comes back and retests almost all the time. Not perfectly every time, but also you can use factors like your, just going to average this out just a little bit as well. And you can see that it also lines up with your fib zone of 61.8. I mean, damn it. That was earlier today. Let's put this on a 1 hour time frame and just take a quick look at it. See, so that drop started on around, that was today around 9 o'clock. I don't know exactly what time that was where I'm at, but that was on the 24th, which is today. That's all I need to know. And I mean, that's also textbook as well. Any type of consolidation zone, look at that. I mean, perfectly. 61.8 lines up also with that retest of the break, and then more to the downside. So hopefully with this AUD news coming out today, I mean, if there's another retest, you can also look at 177,500 area as a nice support. That's weekly support sitting up there. So if this price comes back up and retests that zone and starts showing signs, and then it's all good for another sell opportunity. I would actually take price coming down to 176,670 area, which is going to be your next daily support zone. So as you can see, price has reacted once, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 times every time that it came back down to the zone. Actually don't need that on there anymore. So take that off as well. So I mean, that would have been a nice sell opportunity, but looking at this on a weekly time frame, move over, and as you can see, that consolidation zone came back, retested, but what price does from here on out is, I mean, I see more downward movement. These lows over here will be tested. That also lines up with monthly support sitting at 175. So that would have been a nice opportunity to get in as well. If price comes back up and we actually can see the moving averages on a daily time frame starting to widen pretty much a lot. So I mean, if price comes back down, retest, goes a little bit sideways, and you can expect that as well, especially with a huge dump in price as well. Put this on a 4-hour time frame, and you can kind of see, look at that huge bearish candle. Price did go ahead and retest these highs, acting as resistance, now acting as support, 1, 2, 3, and it's now basically barreling through. I mean, you got about another 2 hours and 10 minutes on that candle before it breaks and closes. Using your moving averages as dynamic resistance as well. They're getting ready to cross over, and I expect price to go ahead and continue to go to the downside on this pair. And that's all I got for right now. I mean, I don't got USD CHF dialed in. I don't got NZD USD dialed in yet, but I'll go ahead and probably do that a little bit this weekend. But let me see. I would actually just line this from right there, just right there. I mean, that also lines up. If price comes back down, gives you another opportunity to bounce off around 176,600 area. That also lines up with daily support as well, sitting at 176,670 area. 1 second bounce, pull back up, and then measure the distance from this pair. Take it from the high, and let's just say price bounces up here. There's a possibility of a 50% retreat, pullback, before going any lower. So I would just monitor that on the back end. All right, guys, that's it. Happy trading, and I'm out.